We're gonna run out of fuel anytime now, diddly-doo. Gonna run out of food first, diddly-diddly-doo. Greetings, Minions, it is I, the Flaming Monocle. Welcome back to the A to Z Challenge. And once again, we find ourselves playing another A game, though we're getting very close to the end of the A's. Starting off the B's, but that's another day. Today, we're playing Away Team Lost Exodus, which looks interesting. Not much in the way of animation going on here, but I've already been through the options. It's just a few little bits and pieces, nothing exciting there. Gonna go ahead and just press new game, see how we get on. Okay, alright. Unlocks in easy. Don't know what any of this is. We'll just hit easy, medium. No. Eric. Okay, we'll just pick a character. I don't know. I guess Xavier Mers. Xavier was augmented to prove his combat skills, and he served in the military as a Special Forces side gen, where he took on those missions requiring the greatest stealth and fewest morals. Oh, perfect. Sold. Let's do it. I guess. Oh, I drag and drop. Okay, what? Oh, I get to pick all of them. Okay. Alright, so I have to leave two behind. Is that what we're saying? Alright, well, mechanic, tough, observant, loner, sure. Comedian, genial, gluttonous, no. Counselor, polite, no. Cora, scientist, yes, good. She's disabled, but who cares? Emery Borgia, stubborn, abstemious. Abstemious, that's a word I've not encountered. My word. Huh, I'll have to look that up. Athlete, genial. What about genial? Stabler. I thought it said stabber, so I'm thinking, oh, violent and xenophobic. Sure, let's do it. We'll take you. I guess, who are you? Strong and competitive and a farmer. A strong competitive farmer. One of those people that's playing esports farming simulator. All right, and you're genial, but we'll take it. And then one more. Comedian, no. No. We'll take you. Deploy! Click to advance text. Press enter to skip. All right, here's a little ship, I suppose. That's all well and good. What? Oh, I just click. Wake inhibitors disabled. Mission parameters loaded. By the mid-2050s, Earth was all but destroyed, ravaged by war, climate change, and famine. Unable to save the planet, scientists, aided by an artificial intelligence, focused on perfecting intergalactic travel so humanity might live on. Starting in 2100, wow, it took them 50 years, dozens of AI-run ships sailed into the void, the fate of their passengers unknown. Your ship, the smallest, fastest, and finest, is the last of these to leave Earth. You are the AI, in charge of the ship, responsible not only for piloting and navigation, but also selecting crew for away teams based on their traits and flaws and advising them on missions. By now, Earth is a dead planet. Your crew is very small, but they are the last known humans. Your choices will determine their fate. Move to the edge of the sector and activate light jump to visit new systems. Search each sector to find new planets, moons, and stations. Stock up on food and fuel and do your best to find your crew a new home. Good luck! Oh, floppy disk. Alright. Jump log. Jump result success. 1041 parsecs. Jump duration unknown. Acceleration time, okay. Wow, 447 sols, which I'm guessing to mean the solar day. The Earth solar day, I should say. Explore sectors for planets and systems. Okay. I can't do anything here, so resume! Oh wow, I can actually do this with the keys? No, let's do it with the mouse. Alright, we have 40 fuel left. That's kind of exciting. Going to the edge of the screen. Alright, nothing there. We have 38 petrol. 1 parsec per intersector travel. Alright. And we have 32 foods. What's up with the ship? AI housing. Oh god, there's so much textage. It's a vessel. It's fun. There you go. You don't have a house. Astrogation is a thing. Quarters, cryonics, engines, structures, sensors. Upgrade log. Alright. Resume. Crew. Okay. That's fine. So, I guess we could light jump. Oh, there we go. Although your mission isn't a scientific one, there are a number of stellar and interstellar phenomena you have been programmed to observe and study should the opportunity arise. Shouldn't there be phenomena? Yeah. Possible benefits range from expanding the boundaries of human knowledge to discoveries that may lead to improvement of ship systems. There's also value in giving the crew something to focus on for a while. Okay. Although your mission isn't as okay. So, all right. In the distance is an almost intensely blue-white neutron star surrounded by the fading remnants of a past supernova. So, we have 1. Perform a cursory inspection. Who can we ask to do that? Observant. Mechanic. Tough. Loner. I dig you. Okay. Press the fast forward text. Okay. 1. Neutron stars being formed by the gravitational collapse of the cores of massive stars following supernova explosions have been observed from great distances since the mid-1900s, but intense gravity and radiation have made opportunities for close study rare. The ship is capable of withstanding more or both than most of the probes humans sent out. There's a lot of stuff happening. Gravitational forces will require a degree of fuel expenditure, though. The prospect of taking time out to research something new seemed to excite the crew. Xavier Mertz stares intently at the readings. I've never seen anything like this. Breckin Ha initially seems like they have something to say, but gets distracted by a flashing light before they get a chance to speak. There are practical benefits we could draw from researching this, right? Asks Fallon Stabler, or Stabber, I think I'm going to call you. Anything that gives us an edge in the mission seems worthwhile. Investigate, because ignoring it would be boring. You plot a course into an orbit a safe distance out from the neutron star. A more detailed study is possible, but it'll take a few days, during which the crew will need to eat. Study! That's fine. We got food. I can honestly say we're going to die pretty soon, but that's fine. You train the ship's sensors on the neutron star for several days, observing its spin and pulses. You calculate it to have been formed from a star with a mass in excess of 10 times the Sol. Eventually, you exhaust the meaningful observations that you expect to make. Analyze! The data collected is revealing and provides some possible means of improving ship's sensor efficiency by a small amount. Scientific curiosity satisfied, you plot a course away from AR Flaming Monocle 778-8429. Fuel -6. Alright. Press leave. Boop. Carry on, Monocle. Oh shit, hang on. Upgrade log. Analysis of research gathered from neutron star allowed a sensor range to be increased. Hooray! Resume. Alright, I see the thing is there on the map now. It's kind of cool. What is going on here then? Hopefully we get some fuel. Pretty soon. Do we want to light jump? No, I'm going to keep searching. And if we run out of fuel, then that's bad news. Air pressure warnings alert you to a possible problem in the machine shop moments before it becomes apparent that both the Theseus Demon and exterior drone control are offline. Neither internal or external cameras can see the breach, but you're able to detect gases venting from the rear of the ship, near the port actuator coupling. Oh dear. Eric Pritz is in the machine shop, startled but unharmed. The rest of the crew is scattered across the ship. Only a few seconds have passed, but the crew, your drones, and the Theseus unit's initialization sequence take time. And at this moment, time is air. Seal all bulkheads. There may be other, smaller hull breaches that aren't venting fast enough to set off pressure loss warnings, and waiting to monitor that before acting puts the crew at risk. You close every bulkhead on the ship, effectively sealing every room and compartment from every other room in an effort to contain venting. Before the crew has a chance to react to being sealed in, you inform them of the situation and provide each with an optimal route for regrouping and progressing towards the shuttle, unsealing and resealing adjacent rooms as they go. Once everyone is aboard the shuttle, you bring them up to speed on the current situation. The hull has been compromised. This is me, isn't it? The hull has been compromised. The breach of unknown dimensions located somewhere along the rear wall of the machine shop, you say. The cause of the breach is unknown. It appears that the machine shop is the only section of the ship that is depressurized. The amount of additional damage is unknown, but the Theseus unit, which would normally affect repairs, is not functional, and exterior drone control is offline. Any questions? No time for questions, says Keelan. We've got to get out there and fix this. Hold your horses, I reply, expertly I might add. The only way we're getting through this is if we plan ahead and know what we're doing. What kind of risks are we looking at here? Asks Osmin. There's a risk that further breaches could occur before we seal the breach and get the Theseus unit up and running again, you reply, beautifully. Most of the actual repairs could be safe if you follow my instructions. If the external... But there's so much going on! If the external drones and the Theseus units are dead, that's a pretty big deal, says Eric thoughtfully. You'll need to fix this. You'll need us to fix this, won't you? Yes, I reply, beautifully and fragrantly. I'll be able to guide you through sealing the breach and inspecting the Theseus unit. Beyond that, we'll need to work out what we're doing as we learn more. Any other questions? I ask handsomely. The shuttle lapses into silence while Brecken fiddles with a zip on their uniform. You take that as a no. You try to get Brecken's attention. The mission, not to mention your life, is at stake here. We'll need to focus if we're going to get through this. Fallon thinks for a moment, then says, that all seems pretty bad. What now? You'll need to rely on your crew to help assess the problem further. Thankfully, EVA training was a requirement for all crew, so sending them outside is an option. The ship is in orbit around a small star, but far enough away that radiation shouldn't pose a danger to the crew or interfere with communications during repairs. Suit up, it's time to go inside. Since your internal drones were unable to locate the breach, sending the crew outside seems the best option. External cameras have shown roughly where the breach is located, and you calculate the safest path for the crew along the hull as they prepare to exit via the shuttle's dorsal hatch. Before opening the hatch, you make sure that one of the shuttle's emergency breach repair kits is brought along. Who should carry the breach repair kit? Oh, I don't know. Who's reliable? No. Well, maybe the mechanic. Or maybe, very observant and quick to notice new sights and sound and potential danger. Okay, Cora might be the way forward. A cautious farmer, perhaps. Oh, she's addicted. Didn't see that. Alright, so I'm thinking Mr. Farmerman. Let's get Eric. The crew moves slowly along the outside of the ship. Although EVA isn't an intended part of your normal crew activities, the hull has been fitted with handholds and rails. You instruct your crew to tether themselves to the rails as they pass between section to section. Was that star always so close? Asks Xavier, pointing to the nearby star. You're pretty certain that Xavier knows that it hasn't moved, so you don't answer. You add a visual representation of the breach to the crew's suit HUD. HUD. Eric stops for a moment, excited by the glimpse of the ship systems from the outside. I know what most of this should look like from the technical information I've read, but there's something different about seeing it in person. His voice trails off. After a moment, they share a private channel. Some of these couplings are my designs, or variations of them at least. You are aware the number of his designs were in use on the ship and that for some reason he was not informed. Similarly, you were never why? And since there was no expectation that the crew would ever be scrambling around at the exterior of the ship, bringing it up hadn't seemed important. The task at hand requires focus, and now is not a good time to get bogged down in discussion that you know don't have solid answers for. Only the best for this ship. Click. You follow up with a quip that if he had designed the Theseus unit, the crew would be inside having dinner instead of dealing with the current crisis. Eric usually isn't the best at taking subtle hints, but either he understands that there are more important things to do right now, or the joke was enough to distract him. As the crew approaches the breach, you ask them to describe it to you whilst you examine what you can from their suit cameras. Notice how the monocle is inside and is the AI, and I'm very clever. Okay, the hole is clearly a puncture created by something outside the ship passing through the hull. From the shape and orientation of the hull, you can identify the object's speed, size, and trajectory. You calculate that there should be something approximately 20 millimeters across, lodged in the bulkhead on the opposite side of the machine shop, and dispatch a drone to confirm this while you return your attention to the crew. Maybe big enough to fit 3 fingers into if I wasn't wearing the suit, continues Eric. You let them finish before bringing them up to speed. The object that caused the breach is still inside, based on its trajectory. I can confirm that no critical systems are affected, but there is some minor damage to redundant lighting and heating circuits, secondary pressure regulators, and secondary CO2 scrubbers. There's also the question of why the Theseus unit isn't running, and why external drones are not responding to commands. Where should we start? Well, inspect the Theseus unit. The Theseus unit roams across the hull. You are able to confirm its current location on the other side of the ship with external cameras, but you're not able to see through enough of it to assess any possible physical damage. You provide the crew with HUD markers showing the most appropriate route. The crew banters good-naturedly as they traverse the hull. Xavier gasps as the crew draws close to the Theseus unit, and multiple people begin speaking at once via their suit cameras. You can see what appears to be a long shaft protruding out of the Theseus unit. What the hell is that? Asks Eric, awed. It looks like there's something moving along the surface of the sphere, says Cora. Maybe we should work out what it is and what it wants before we make any decisions. Oh, sorry, I missed a thing, because there's so much text happening. I don't care what it is. It has to go. Maybe we could work out what it is and what it wants before we make any decisions, says Keelan Reza earnestly. Osmin Keenum sounds worried. Rushing into anything feels like a bad idea. You analyze as much as you can from suit data, and you explain to everyone what you can determine. The most likely scenario is that this object is not foreign. The object appears to be a piece of the Theseus unit extruded into space by the ship's external drones. Didn't you say that the external drones were offline? Asks Cora. You explain that the Theseus unit is one of several critical systems that the drones will prioritize repair of over normal operation, and that since the Theseus unit wasn't actually being repaired, they were stuck in a loop. To test this hypothesis, you send an emergency power down signal to all drones. The surface of the object immediately changes slightly as the drones swarming along it stop moving. I believe I can repair the Theseus unit now that I understand the problem, you tell the crew, but I will need someone to disconnect it manually. Who can we trust? Who do we not care about? Oh, I don't know. At this point, Xavier seems the most involved, so let's just go with him. Xavier carefully approaches the Theseus unit and tethers himself to the device. What next? You guide him through the process of disconnecting the Theseus unit, going over each step multiple times before proceeding. Is that it? Yes. He pauses and then flicks the indicated switch from 1 to 0. With the Theseus unit detected as offline, you're able to bypass the repair priority subroutine and manually control repairs of the Theseus unit. Fully repairing the Theseus unit will take a while, but I can handle that from here, you inform the crew, and provide them with HUD indicators to guide them back to the location of the breach. You also dispatch a standard fleet of drones to monitor and vaporize debris that might cause further hull damage. So why did we need the full crew to go outside? We could have just sent one dude. Alright, so damaged circuits. Since they're already suited up and booted up, they may as well repair the stuff before repairing the breach, right? Our focus here is interim repairs to the secondary pressure regulator. The CO2 scrubbers can be replaced from inside the ship, and since the primary scrubbers are functioning, we can ignore those for now and allow drones to deal with that once the ship is locked down. Same with the redundant heating and lighting circuits. You use your drones to inspect the damage more closely. Whatever breached the hull also tore several holes in pipes leading to the pressure regulator, which in turn tore it free from its mount and severed electrical connections. Your suit patches should be sufficient for sealing the pipes. The gas escaping from them is helium and does not pose a threat. The regulator's power and I/O cables use a quick release connector, so they shouldn't have been damaged. Once reconnected and sealed, the regulator will need to be reaffixed to the hull. The breach repair kit contains several chemical adhesive strips that should do the job. This game is very verbose. You divide the crew between patching pipes and reconnecting cables. Eric volunteers to supervise the work on the pipes. You use a drone to point out each tear and assess the crew's work as they go. Brecken volunteers to oversee reconnecting the pressure regulator's cables. You use a drone to pass cables to the crew as they go. Working together, the crew finishes quickly. You repressurize the pipes and monitor for both internal and external gas leaks. Your readings indicate that there are remaining leaks inside the ship, but your drones will be able to deal with those. You also power up the pressure regulator and run a quick diagnostic to confirm that everything is working before powering it down again. Good work, everybody! You ask Eric to retrieve 6 adhesive strips from the breach repair kit, whilst you instruct the rest of the crew in bending the pressure regulator's mounting bracket back into place. Guided by the visual indicators you place on their HUD, Eric applies the adhesive strips to the mounting bracket. The strips are protected. Oh my god, we're going to talk about let's talk about what these adhesive strips are. The strips are pressure Let's try again. The strips are pressure activated and will bond when they receive about 500 newtons of force. You say as you direct several drones to gently bond the pipes and bring the pressure regulator into contact with the mounting bracket before giving a push strong enough to start the strip's chemical reaction. With the press complete, the crew packs up the repair kit and does a quick visual inspection for any further damage. Dun dun dun! Let's talk about the adhesive. Alright. The Theseus unit is designed to repair and replace sections of the hull as they become damaged and worn. Typically, damage comes from impact with particles too small for the external drone fleet to detect and vaporize. A breach of this magnitude is better repaired by the crew. Eric begins to unpack the breach repair kit, which also includes a number of tools for assessing the structural integrity of the hull plating. Also, there's those adhesive strips. You know, the adhesive stuff. In case we need to adhere things to one another. Although the repair tasks could be completed by one person, it would be best to keep the entire crew busy. You decide who would be best to handle the actual breach repair first, as this will involve mixing a binding agent. Well, I think Eric, because he's the guy who made a lot of this stuff, so let's do it. Who's going to perform a surface analysis of the region around the breach? Who's the most observant? You, Cora. There we go. You assign the rest of the crew to supervisory roles. Eventually, the surface analyzer emits a series of beeps, indicating that the puncture is the only structural issue present. After leaving the repair compounds to settle for their indicated rest periods, you guide Eric through the process of loading them into the various slots on the bonding agent dispenser. Is this more like a how-to video? Eric carries the bonding agent dispenser over to the breach and places the nozzle into the hole before pulling the trigger. By weaving the bonding agent dispenser back and forth across the hole's width, the compound is able to cover and seal the gap quickly, fusing with the surrounding hull as it hardens. Okay, time to get back to the shuttle. You return your attention to the Theseus unit. Drone analysis confirms your suspicion that the object protruding from the Theseus unit was a circuitry extruded by drones. The repair logs that would normally have indicated this were overwritten by the malfunctioning Theseus unit. The drones also found a larger meteorite inside the Theseus unit, likely was struck first, indirectly taking over the external drone fleet at the same time and leaving the ship vulnerable to breach caused by the other meteoroid. Meanwhile, the drones were using fabrication tools to replicate a portion of the Theseus unit's circuits over and over. Meanwhile, thanks to the repair history. That the damaged Theseus unit was overwriting. By the time you finished writing a separate log, storage mechanism and service responsible for handling reads overwrites, the Theseus unit is operational again, and after you reconnected to the rest of the ship systems, the Theseus demon happily takes over and begins a complete surface assessment of the hull. We're here, says Fallon, as the crew approaches the shuttle. You open the shuttle's dorsal hatch and announce the crews inside. Ship! Air happen! Once everyone's off the shuttle, you bring the larger meteoroid aboard. It's comprised primarily of organic matter and could be converted into small matter fuel. A bit of both. You find Eric back in the machine shop cleaning up. They stumble across a small meteoroid embedded in the opposite wall of the breach. You discuss the day's events while they roll the tiny rock around in their hand. With the emergency over and the crew settled, you plot a course for your next destination. So, says Eric in a quiet moment when the rest of the crew's attention is elsewhere, how many of my designs are on the ship? 20%. You explain that nearly 1/5 of the ship's components are based on designs acquired from a research and development organization Eric had worked for that was brought aboard during the late stages of the Argo's construction. He doesn't seem satisfied. Why wasn't I told? What? No idea. You tell him that you weren't given any relevant information. You can only speculate that either it wasn't deemed important or it was expected that his performance as a crew member would be stronger if he didn't know. Something still seems to bother him. Is that why I'm on the ship? Am I only here because my designs are on here? I don't know. It's possible. Having someone on board who has significant familiarity with the ship's systems and their components is definitely valuable, even if the likelihood of that familiarity being needed is exceedingly low. But even if that were a factor, you still passed the same tests, and you've more than proven yourself to be a valuable member of the crew. You sense that Eric is willing to move on. But in your study of the crew's emotional dynamics, you understand that you can, and perhaps should, say more. I guess I'll reassure him, I said, sexily. Regardless, I'm glad that you're here, and I believe the rest of the crew, though, would feel the same. Thanks, he says, sounding much more comfortable. I was just a shock. I was just a shock, you know? I didn't expect to see any of that stuff again. I got some food and some fuel. Press leave. God, we've only done 2 things. We've been here half an hour. Holy moly. Oh, no, what fresh hell awaits us here? We're gonna run out of fuel anytime now, diddly-doo. Gonna run out of food first, diddly-diddly-doo. We're gonna run out of food. We're gonna run out of food. We're gonna run out of food. Finish 61. What's here? Finally. Star Class G. Okay, sensors are not getting a good reading on this planet, so it's unwise to send the crew down. You instruct the crew to remain on the ship and detach the shuttle for a quick excursion to scoop up some raw materials. Okay, mission underway. I might do this another time. Guys, if you would like me to continue this craziness, because we've been here for over half an hour already, please let me know in the comments below. Truthfully, if I do hear back from you guys and you want me to play this more, I will play more of this. But for now, I'm going to leave this here. It seems like a good time, but I wasn't prepared for a video game that had so much narration to it. Otherwise, I would have allocated more time to it. But right now, I must leave. I've got sushi to go to in like half an hour, and I've got to go get ready. So I'm going to go do that. So my name's been the Flaming Monocle. This has been, what's it called? The Away Team. There you go. This has been the Away Team. And this is part of the A to Z challenge. Do join me the next time I play a video game for your entertainment. And once again, if you do want to see more of this, maybe I'll pick it up on the Twitch channel. Just let me know. Comments below. Hit the subscribe button. Smash the bell until it's broken. And maybe, I don't know, thumbs up, thumbs down if you hated it. And yeah. God, brain juice. Work. Yes. Things and stuff. Gotta go do other things. Bye. I mean, stay evil. That's it. Stay evil! I mean, if I play again, you might see what happens at the equatorial swamp.